Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Depends from where you are watching me from. It's still your brother, Evangelist Abraham Ngozi. Today, which is the first Sabbath of 2025. Child of God, everything in the world is moving rapidly. There is a 18th century prophetess called Ellen Gold White. In one of her books called Testimony to the Church, Volume 9, page 11 and 12. She said that the final movement will be rapid one. And now we can see that the world is moving rapidly into destruction. The Bible predicted in the book of Matthew 24 that one of the signs of the end time is there will be pestilence, sickness and hunger, death and bloodshed everywhere. What am I trying to say? Another sickness, like my previous video, has break out in China. Another deadly sickness, another pandemic has break out in China, as it was in 2019 through 2020 that affected the whole world, called COVID-19. Right now, people are flooding in hospital. There is no chance in the hospital again. People now are wearing face masks. But I want to let you know, remember the word of Bill Gates. He said that there will be another sickness. The World Health Organization has also warned that there is going to be another sickness. And now, they has generated another sickness. But one thing I want to ask is that, who made these people a prophet? Who is telling them that another pandemic is coming into the world? And now people are afraid. And I want to tell you that this year, 2025, is the most dangerous year ever in the history of mankind. In my previous video, I told you that I saw that there will be much plane crash in 2025 that will make people to reject entering. They will not be entering into flight again to travel, even overseas. I saw bloodshed. I saw hunger, pestilence, sickness everywhere. But child of God, all these things are telling us that we are almost home. That if there is a time that we must surrender ourselves to Jesus, is now. In the book of Psalms 9 verse 9, the Bible says that the Lord is our tower. The Lord is our hope. There is no hope in this world again. The Apostle Paul say, if your hope rely in this world, that God should have mercy upon you. Child of God, our hope is no longer in this world. And another lockdown is coming. Remember, in US now, there is a bird flu that is going on in Congo. There is what is called disease X going on. I want to tell you, sickness will fall everywhere on earth in this 2025. US gonna go to war. Many Arab nation is going to attack the United States of America. There will be war, earthquake and fire, flood, disaster everywhere. Many will be begging for death, and they will not find it. And as many that took the jab of 19, the jab of C19, are going to suffer it in 2025. All those people that took the jab, you know what I'm talking about? The jab of C19 are going to suffer the pain in 2025. I saw people dying like chicken, death and sorrow everywhere. People were running here and there. Hotel was closed, street was closed, borders was closed. There was no more traveling. Hotels were closed. Football was closed. Wrestling was closed. All the merriment of the world was found no more. Child of God, Jesus is calling us to surrender our life to Him now before it will be too late. I don't have much to say. Watch this video once again. What is going on in China? I will be giving you the update of what is going on in China. Be strong in the Lord. Be not afraid. These things must surely come to pass. But the end will be no more buying, no selling, except you have the mark of the beast, which is the Sunday worship. It's coming. Sunday, National Sunday Law is coming. Thank you.
I hate to say this, but it feels like 2020 all over again. Overflowing hospitals and thousands of patients with flu-like symptoms. China is facing a new health crisis, a new disease outbreak, which looks a lot like the Wuhan virus. And as always, Beijing is sharing no information. They're calling it a pneumonia of unknown origin. That's how Chinese authorities have described it. Beijing says it has set up systems to monitor the outbreak. If you feel like you've heard this before, you have. From the same China, some 4 years back. They're making it sound like it's just the flu season. We do hope it's just that. But sadly, the pictures tell a different story. Take a look at this. This is believed to be from a hospital in China. We cannot verify these pictures, but several videos like this one are going viral. Clearly, there is more to the story. We do not wish to speculate and feed the fear, but here is what we know so far. This is not a new disease. Experts say that China is dealing with an outbreak of HMPV. That's the human metapneumovirus, HMPV. This virus has been around for at least 60 years. It is quite common and easy to catch. So unlike the Wuhan virus, this time they seem to be dealing with a known disease, and yet there are reasons to be worried. The first reason is the scale of the outbreak. It is massive. Cases have been reported in multiple cities across China: Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei, Shaanxi, and Inner Mongolia. These 5 areas have reported the highest number of cases. But we don't know about the actual caseload. As usual, China has not shared any data, so we don't know how much worse it could become. The second reason to be worried is the nature of the patients. HMPV attacks the younger sections of the population, the children and adolescents. They are the most vulnerable to contracting this virus, and a large number of patients right now are also children. Plus, treatment is also challenging because just like the Wuhan virus, the HMPV is a respiratory disease. There is no drug to treat it. There are no vaccines either. And the symptoms are similar: fever, cough, and shortness of breath. That's what HMPV patients have. In severe cases, they can develop other complications like bronchitis or pneumonia. So they may need intensive care, oxygen, or even a ventilator. Again, does this sound familiar to you? We all know what happens when hospitals are overwhelmed, when there are too many patients to treat and not enough resources, when oxygen supplies are about to run out, when patients cannot find beds for treatment. HMPV is not the same as the Wuhan virus, but it can easily wreak havoc on the health system. China knows this too. In fact, its hospitals are already feeling the strain. Despite that, it refuses to come clean about the outbreak or its scale. It seems to have learned nothing from the last pandemic. It remains in a state of denial. Just look at this story. It came out 3 days back. The World Health Organization, or WHO, made an appeal to Beijing. It has asked China to come clean about the Wuhan virus pandemic. The WHO has sought data from Beijing. And how did Beijing respond? With a denial.
On the issue of COVID-19 traceability, China has always upheld the spirit of scientific openness and transparency as it actively supported participation in the global scientific traceability methods. At the same time, we firmly oppose any form of political manipulation. China's openness and transparency have exceeded expectations.
They say they have exceeded expectations. Does the WHO agree with that? In 2023, a WHO official was asked about this. He said, and I quote, "China's lack of data disclosure is simply inexcusable." And this is a sharp shift in the stand of the World Health Organization. In the early days of the pandemic, they had praised China's response to the Wuhan virus. We all know what a disaster it turned out to be. The world cannot afford a repeat of the same mistake. It must remain vigilant about China's latest disease outbreak.